As Ivo isn't available right now, I've asked Adama to sub in for him for a bit. Ivo is super focused on the problem welling up in the Ukraine right now. What he's doing he won't say, but he's busy as is Ashtar, so busy he won't channel to us right now. No worries, there are plenty of people I have contact with who would love to talk to you, so I thought I'd open the lines. Me, so, we're there again, Adama. How do you feel having to share this world with these batshit crazy leaders on the surface? Adama, hello, Sharon. Yes, they're at it again. History repeats itself because history is comprised of only one agenda, the agenda to kill the surface population. We've intervened so many times to just keep enough of you alive, but this time we see you're going to pull through. Me, so you're taking this a lot better than I thought you would. How has history put us in this situation before? Adama, what do you think Atlantis was? Me, yes. Was it nuclear? Adama, it was crystalline technology they used to sink the island. Me, which is even more powerful. Adama, yes, and they created a rift in the quantum fields extending from Earth all the way to heaven. It's been a task trying to repair them. What we have around Earth now is what you'd call bad sectors on your computers. I'm feeling it's something like unusable space, so with the new timeline that's being populated now, we are splitting into two timelines right now, or some people call it Democrats and Republicans, but humanity is in two camps. We will be able to repair those bad sectors. Me, interesting. Adama, the Agarthans have worked hard to hold the fabric of space-time together around Earth. So have other races such as yours, Sharon. Me, is that what Ivo's doing now? He won't tell me. Adama, yes, and they're searching for any nuclear weapons that have evaded them so far. Me, I know they have control over most of them, but I'll bet that the DS has a stash somewhere in some dumb or maybe Antarctica. Adama, we're searching for them. We've got people on the inside, willing to give up their lives in order to even just source these weapons. We don't see anything large exploding, though. We're working with Mr. Putin to keep Earth safe. Me, this sucks. Adama, don't despair, Sharon. Me, I'm getting tired of living with the threat of war. I'm 60 years old and there was only 4 years of my entire life that there was no warring, and that was 2016 to 2020. Adama, there's a reason that wars were only a threat to others than the North American people. They were real for many others, though. After this event is over with, the DS will be arrested and the flip will begin. People will begin to take back control of their lives. Me, people will ask if this ain't germane funds will come out. Adama, this depends on the economy. The economy has to flip. Ashtar has already stated that he'll disclose benevolent extraterrestrial life to the public if this war goes nuclear. They don't have the power, Sharon. Don't worry. We've been able to gather and defuse many of their weapons. Remember, too, that they use other types of weapons such as direct energy weapons as well. A threat of nuclear war is done to scare you, as well as to rip holes in the fabric of time-space. Me, well, they are trying to kill off the people of Earth and they haven't been successful to date. Adama, they won't get away with it, Sharon. You have a lot of help and you don't even realize the extent of the help we can aid you with. I hear what you're asking me. Typically wars they reserved for overtaking of areas of the planet. That was up until just recently, as a matter of fact. Then they learned how to create global wars, and this had to do with the fact that they controlled so many regions upon the planet's exterior. When the Dutch went to war, they had to protect their interests such as Indonesia. Me, yes, my father served and it was then he killed a man. It was kill or be killed, so he killed the guy. Adama, yes, so unfortunate. In the past, they used sickness to kill off a lot of the population, and yes, timelines were reversed and intervened with in order to keep enough people alive for the population to live on. The Black Plague, Spanish flu was another attempt, and the release of malaria was another one. Back in the day there was no medical help to be had. Now they use antibiotics to cure people, but there was nothing of the sort back then. Me, so I see the first recorded case of malaria was around the 1st century BC. Adama, it was around long before that. Me, okay. Adama, with the proliferation of forested areas with water, mosquitoes were rampant. All they needed to do was infect the mosquitoes to use them as carriers and then kill off some of the natural enemies of the mosquitoes such as certain types of birds and bats. This way they created their own system of killer insects. They've been attempting these things over and over throughout history, Sharon, and we've been working to stop them, to keep the surface population alive. Me, interesting. What about the plague? Adama, the plague was spread by rodents and at the time, people lived with them. Rats and mice found their way into people's homes and infected people through their fleas and their feces. Why do you think house cats became so common? Me, I have my own little mouse chaser here. He does a good job. Adama, felines don't get sick with the plague, but a human will. Me, so the reason house cats became so common was for the welfare of the human. Who knew? Adama, we knew. We tipped off people on the surface to start housing cats in order to control the population of rodents in the urban areas. Me, what about typhoid fever? Adama, this was spread by bacteria and you realize that in Europe habits of cleanliness were lax for many years. Again, there was intervention to help people learn to use soap and hot water to clean themselves and their homes. We have been behind all of these campaigns to improve life in the outer population. We send in our emissaries to help stem these diseases. Me, what about tuberculosis? Adama, there were campaigns of it launched around the world. It is still not in remission but many people have developed immunity and continue to do so it is no threat to them. Immunity is passed through the parents to children so vaccination is not really necessary. What they have done is they understand that the immune system of the human is adept at protecting one from disease or from allowing diseases to overtake the body, so they have systematically worked at weakening your immune systems. And this is where you find yourselves now. Me, I do. I'm allergic to everything. Adama, and it can be overcome. The body is strong and if you feed it properly you can make great strides. Me, what about some of their others campaigns? Adama, there was nuclear war in India and in Africa. They have worked throughout the eons to craft a human being that cannot resist them. When a sector became too strong, they started wars in their areas to wipe out the population and alter their DNA. Me, so here we are again. They just can't get rid of us. LOL. Adama, no, you see how resilient the human body is. Me, so nukes won't happen at least in a measurable amount, this year. That's what the DS wants and we won't allow it. Adama, you have to see who you're dealing with and that they don't care about you. This was never made known in their prior campaigns or those who spread the news were killed to keep them quiet. This was the job of many members of clergy and of royalty, to protect the narrative just as it is being done now. Me, so these people knew what was going on. Adama, of course. You are led to believe your kings and queens reigned over their kingdoms with benevolence, but many of them were two-faced, such as your leaders are now. They smile to your faces but behind your backs, they have the worst for you in mind. This is why Jesus came, to tell you of this as well. But of course the Bible was created and these records stricken from it. Me, interesting. Thanks Adama, always interesting. Adama, you're most welcome, Sharon. And yes, this is being discussed at Galactic Council. Of course there is concern but we have seen you come to this point in your history before and you have always prevailed, and you will this time again. We are helping you as we always have done but this time we are striking out the evil ones and are helping to open your eyes. Earthlings need to take their power back and so it will be done. Me, thanks Adama. Adama, I bid you adieu. Folks, it just sounds like history repeats itself until we finally get past this point and take our planet back. I get the feeling it's been like a skipping record, a stumbling block Earth could never get past. It's been an impasse for the DS as well as for the people of Earth, butting up head to head but nobody wins. Now we win. Before, they used natural circumstances to help them cull the herd, but as they grew in power and cunning, they created the circumstances they believed would lead to our demise. They didn't. Ashtar has commented that the world's population has flourished for this very reason, so humans could live on.